some noise for
Orange Juice in a Blunt.
Whoreson, the story of a ghetto pimp. Reach in the glove compartment and get a pencil out and put your name and address on it. She started to hand it back to me, but I refused. No, baby, I don't want you to give me the envelope. I don't want you to get the notion I might switch on you, so you hold on to it. You know the money's in it now. She clutched the envelope to her. I ain't never did nothing like this before, she said while writing out her address. I drove slowly and watched for a mailbox. When I saw one, I parked beside it. Well, baby, here we are. She looked scared for a moment. You sure you want to go through with this? She stalled. Give me back the money, Dad, if you don't want to go through with it, I said, bluffing. She bit down on her lip. How long have I got to be with you? About 5 minutes. It shouldn't take longer than that, should it? I asked, amused. I don't know, should it? She replied. I could tell she was way out of her program. When I reached for the envelope, she opened the door and got out hesitantly. I watched her closely until she mailed the letter. If she had tried to run, I'd have run her little ass down and probably jumped on her for trying to put shit on me. She climbed back in the car and sat over by the door nervously. I put my foot in the gas tank, making a beeline for the nearest motel. Even though I had 2 motel rooms, I wasn't about to take this tender young thing to one of them and have one of my war horses walk in on me. I pulled up behind a motel on Linwood. When she saw me park, she shook her head. I ain't going in that place. Well, I don't know what you're planning on doing, girl. You done took my money, and I guess you know I can't get it back out of no mailbox. She shook her head. I know that, but I just ain't going in none of the motels. What you want to do there? I asked. Do it in the car someplace? I don't care, she answered in a frightened voice. For a few moments I just sat and thought about that. Well, it would save me the motel money, I reasoned. It was good and dark now, so I wouldn't have any difficulty finding a good spot to rip this sweet meat off. I slammed the car in gear and backed out. After my third alley, I found just what I was looking for, an old, dilapidated garage with the house vacant. I backed up into it and pointed to the back seat with my thumb. Climb over the seat, I directed. I wasn't taking any chance of her getting away this close to the finish line. She climbed over obediently, then sat in the corner like a frightened kid. Take them shorts off. Everything, I growled. I removed my sport coat, shoes, shirt, then climbed over the seat. She hadn't taken anything off, so I straightened her out on the seat and removed her shorts and pants. The sight of such a young, tender thing excited me, so I just stripped her down. Her breasts were small and hard, and I kissed them affectionately. My breathing became deep and broken as that beautiful sight aroused me. When I put my finger inside of her, she began to cry, but I was beyond any feelings of concern. I unzipped my zipper. She became aware of what was about to happen and cried, Wait, I didn't tell you, but I ain't but 16. At that moment, it wouldn't have mattered if she wasn't but 10. I was beyond the point of caring. I removed my finger and used it to guide myself with. She screamed piercingly as I entered her, causing me to come instantly. "Damn!" I swore, and sat up. "Instant cock. I could make a fortune off you on the market." I straightened up my clothes and climbed back in the front seat. She sat in the corner, slowly dressing. "You hurt me," she said angrily. "You hurt my pocket. You ever think about that?" I said, amused. She smiled. Now that her ordeal was over, she was happy. "I'm going downtown and buy me 10 dresses when my money arrives." For a moment, my conscience nagged me, but not enough to make me part with $100. "Would you do that for another $100 bill?" I asked curiously. She hesitated for a moment. "If you promise to do it as fast as the first time," she replied coldly. I started to laugh, and continued to laugh until she climbed up in the front seat. "I don't see nothing funny. What's so damn funny?" she asked, and punched me in the side. "Nothing," I said, holding back my laughter. I pulled out my bankroll and gave her a $5 bill. "I'm gonna put you out at the bus stop. You can either take a car or catch the bus. Suit yourself. I just don't have the time to drop you off." She clutched the 5 spot to her. "Do you always spend this kind of money on the girls you go out with?" she asked. When I didn't answer, she continued, "If you want my address, I'll write it down for you." I looked at her and smiled. "No thank you, honey. When you get old enough, I might run into you somewhere." When I pulled up in front of a bus stop, I looked at her and said, "Instant cock," and began to laugh until my sides hurt. She looked at me and shook her head. When she got out of the car, she was smiling to herself.